Hi, it's Todd and welcome to this episode of Reframe Yourself. Look, in this episode, I intend to annoy some people with, of course, absolute love. Now look, this is called Inflated Egos and Misplaced Senses of Righteousness. So what the hell do I mean by this? Well, the answer is pretty simple. We live in an age today where so many people are finding satisfaction and significance from fighting for some cause, right? But the question I beg to ask is what happens when they go out of their way to make innocent people go through pain just to satisfy their own sense of righteousness? The case in point I want to talk about today is the barber in Sydney that's facing human rights course because he didn't cut a young girl's hair. The young girl's mother, who happens to be a lawyer, took the girl in there for a haircut and was told by Sam, who was the owner of the shop, a man with a young family himself, who said he's never cut girls' hair before and said that there's a number of female salons just a few minutes walk away from his shop, that, he wouldn't be able to do a good job and that they'll get a better job done right there, but the mother insisted that he cut his daughter's hair. Now, the question that I want to pose right here and right now is this. If it was as simple as saying, okay, look, no problem, and then walking down the road to a place that would do a better job for her daughter's hair, why did the mother keep insisting that Sam be the one that cut her daughter's hair? Why did she feel the need to take Sam to court, claiming that he breached anti-discrimination laws and embarrassed her daughter? Which would embarrass you more? Your parents standing and debating with a shop attendant, or simply going to a different place to make a purchase? Imagine your mum standing at McDonald's and arguing about her daughter receiving a girl's toy in her Happy Meal instead of a boy's toy, and that they should make them unisex. Who is actually getting the gain from this whole thing? Is it the daughter, or is it the mother's sense of righteousness and significance? Ego, 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 ego. Everybody is so quick to get offended about everything these days. Ego, 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 ego. Why do we argue things? And why do we press so hard to make ourselves the winner and the person that is right? Ego, 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 ego. How is it that we can make another person feel bad just to prove some elusive point that says that we are right? Ego, 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 right? There are so many people around today that get significance from making another person wrong and enforcing some sort of righteous agenda upon them. Sure, look, we've got anti-discrimination laws, which is great, but as my dad says all the time, he says, Todd, time and place. In the 2010 movie Lawabiding Citizen, a great movie by the way, but in this movie there's a man who's a main character who commits a whole heap of crimes and then uses the law to prove a point. And that is that if I spin the right BS, I can more or less do anything I please. Legally, he could have walked away, but the question is, if you've seen the movie, does that make it right? In effect, what we're seeing these days is people who hide behind policies and laws and use them to try and force some exaggerated form of justice that, just really has little merit. Just like in this case with Sam. Now, let me make an important point about my point of view when it comes to equality and all that good stuff. Do I believe that gay marriage is important? Yeah. Two people want to marry? Great, let it happen. Do I believe that women should have equal rights in regards to pay in the workplace? Yeah, absolutely. You should be paid based on the value that you bring, not on your color, not on your age, not on your gender. Do I believe that vegans standing out in front of a restaurant that clearly is a meat-serving place, creating a hassle for the owner, calling him a murderer, is right? Hell no. Go somewhere else with your virtues and stop being a headache and bringing pain in other people's lives. You want to go and protest? Good, go do it somewhere else that doesn't affect the person's business or the dining experience of people that are enjoying their meal. Do I believe that just because a barber, and let's make this explicitly clear, barbers are known for cutting men's hair. Just because a barber would not want to cut a girl's hair because it's outside of his realm of service and expertise, should he then be tried for discrimination? Hell no. If it ain't broken, why try and fix it? I just made a free training resource for people called How to Gain Explosive Results and Productivity Without Working Twice as Hard. And in it, I highlight that people tend to focus on things that don't move the needle and, really aren't that important. That's why they're stuck in life. Importance and context. Remember that, importance and context. So next time that you go out there thinking of, changing the world and making some kind of protest, consider the following. What do you really want to achieve here? Why is it important? who's the help really for? How is what you're about to do actually going to help? What else could you do to really make an impact? Is this protest, is this thing actually going to move the needle? Or is it just going to give you some kind of significance or ego trip from imposing my own sense of righteousness and justice on things? Remember, you don't have to be a pain in the ass to make change. Anyway, look, I hope you've enjoyed this, and once again, feel free to share this with whoever will get value or whoever is a pain in people's ass and just needs to stop it. Todd Pierce signing out.